Good morning, guys. I posted a little short TikTok about how I was making a retirement shirt. A lot of people were asking, well, how do you do it and what materials were being used? So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the products that are used, the printer that I use, the vinyl, and the inks. So that way you guys can make your own things. Also, what cutter that I'm using and just the whole process. So I'll go ahead and show you guys what that looks like. One of the first things you guys are going to get for doing some Eco Solvent printer is this Epson 1500. They run about $699. You can get them at Staples, not Home Depot, what is that? What's that? Office Max. Yeah, Office Max or any place that sells like Epson style printers. Now, if you convert this printer, it will void your warranty. So don't be upset if you make a mistake and boom, you have a $699 paperweight. Just be aware and just make sure that you follow the steps correctly for filling your ink. Another thing, when you get your printer, it's going to come with their standard inks. If you are converting your printer, do not put the ink that comes with the printer into it, because then you're going to have to flush that ink out in order to put the new ink in. So what you're going to want to do is, when you do your first initial fill of your printer, take the ink that's in these bottles and dump it into a different container that you can use later. Wash the insides of these bottles out and then put in the Eco Solvent ink. Now, the Eco Solvent ink that I use is called Eco Rush, and you can get it right on Etsy. It's a water-based Eco Solvent ink, and it works really, really well. I haven't had any issues with it. The only issue that I have had is every once in a while I have to do a head cleaning, but that's common for printers because, sometimes the ink gets clogged. So you're going to want to go ahead and make sure you get the Eco Solvent ink. When you order, I would recommend ordering at least 2 sets. One for your initial fill, and then another for backup, just in case they run low on stock, or just so that you have it on standby for when you get going. When you fill these inks, sorry for the cough, morning allergy stuff. When you fill the inks, you're gonna wanna follow the filling instructions. And you open this thing up here, and each one of these is color-coded to let you know which ink goes into which slot. So the blue Eco Solvent ink is going to go into the cyan, the magenta into the magenta, the black into the black, and so forth. It's going to go ahead and fill, and it tells you, when you're filling your ink, don't squeeze your bottles. You let it fill up, fill it to the appropriate line. I will recommend that when you fill these inks, like the first initial fill to this line, that top line with the arrow. Now, when you refill it, I would only recommend going to the second line. Why? It's because for some reason with the Eco Solvent ink, I've had it blend where my red and my black mix together. Even though they're a color apart and mixed together, I had to do multiple head cleanings. I had to do a power head cleaning. I had to wait a day, come back, and then the Lord blessed it to clear up so that I could keep using the printer. And I was nervous that I had ruined the printer, but you just got to be patient and take your time. And yeah. Another thing that you're going to want to get is this vinyl. This is the Easy Print vinyl by Caesar. I'll have the link in the description as to where I get my the inks as well as the paper. You're going to need this, and this is a 14.5 inch sheet, and I just use a sheet cutter. Walk over here and show you guys. Sorry for the mess. I'm gonna get you one of these. This is a swing line sheet cutter. It's been used. I've had this thing for a few years. And what you do is you just take your vinyl, and I make a little mark so that I cut it. That little piece of tape allows me to cut it at the same spot every single time, so that way I can sheet my own vinyl, especially not only for this Caesar Easy Weed, but also for not Caesar Easy Weed, but for this Easy print, but also for when I use the Easy Weed. Other than the Easy print vinyl, you're also going to want to need some, what is this, transfer tape. This is also a Caesar brand. Comes in like 25 yards. Get it from, well, I told you I'd leave the links in the description, but I get them all from Heat Transfer Warehouse, so you can also look in the description and just click the link. I don't get paid for it or anything like that, so I just want to share that with you guys. Other than the vinyl and the ink and the printer, you're going to want to have a Silhouette Cameo. The reason why I recommend getting a Silhouette Cameo is because it's what I use. Some people use Crickets. That's good. That's cool. Some people prefer Crickets. I prefer Silhouette Cameos. They seem to work the best for me. I've had this one for a few years. The first one that I got, I had for, I think it was 4 or 5 years. And before it ever gave me an issue, and the only issue was I needed to change the blade. So get you a Silhouette Cameo because it's going to work. When you go to print your Eco Solvent ink onto your vinyl, I always put the sheets have to go into the back of the printer. This printer can print up to 13 by 19. That's why I got it, because this sheet is only 12 by 14 and a half. You'll pull out your tray. I'm just clearing that out. And then just make sure it's ready. I do recommend that you do a head cleaning every day, once a day. Clean your print heads, unless you're printing a lot. And even if you are printing a lot, clean your print head once a day so that your ink doesn't build up. If you don't, you're gonna start having streaky prints, and that's not fun for anybody. Now, once you're ready to start printing on your vinyl, you wanna upload your image so that you have the full color image that you wanna use, and you're gonna wanna go over to the sidebar panel and turn on your registration marks. What the registration marks are gonna do is allow the machine to register exactly where your design is so that it can cut along the outside. What I like to do is size the logo or image that I'm using so that it'll fit within the cut borders, which is the red lines. And another thing you're going to want to do is add a bleed. What a bleed is an outline that prints but doesn't get cut. That outline allows so that the logo won't have little areas of white around it. So usually if I'm printing on a black shirt, I'll use a black bleed, red shirt, red bleed, and so forth. The way you add a bleed is you just click offset, and it's going to automatically add an outline around your design. And then on your sidebar panel, you're going to go and pick the color outline that you want. I just selected black. I'm just going to size this down because it's not really fitting inside of the cut lines. So after you have it like that, you're going to just go ahead and go to File and Print. Wait for your dialog box to show up. I'm using a Mac, but this is going to work on a PC or whatever you're using. It doesn't really matter. They all work about the same. One's not better than the other. Some people may beg to differ, but to me, computers are computers. If it does the job, then it's the right computer for it. You click Print, then it's going to show your dialog box. I have 3 different printers, so each one is labeled. So I'm going to select the appropriate printer, and then I created a preset so that anytime I'm printing with this vinyl, I don't have to enter my settings every time. And the settings that I use, I make sure that it's coming from the rear tray, and I put it on photo matte paper. Then I click Print. Then we're going to let that print out. I'll take you over there, let you guys see it print. This isn't going to be the exciting part because watching a machine print can be boring. But tip, don't reverse your image. Because you're going to be using masking tape, you don't want to reverse the image. So let's go over here and watch this thing print out. These are the 3 different Epson ET1500s. I didn't get them all at once, got them gradually, so you don't have to rush out and buy a bunch for different reasons. But this one is for sublimation, this one is for Eco Solvent printing, and this is just a standard inkjet. So you can see it's feeding that in there, printing the design. Like I said earlier, you want to make sure that you do a head cleaning. every day. I didn't do one today because I just want to see if it turns out okay without it. Yeah, it's a little risky, but sometimes it turns out just fine for the first print. But like I said, I highly recommend that each day do a head cleaning on your printer so that way you don't have a bunch of spots and lines. And I'm doing this all real time instead of speed it up so you can kind of see how long it's gonna take you to make a shirt from start to finish. Also on this design, I did not increase the saturation of my colors. On some designs, you'll see that the colors, they look a little washed out, or they don't look as vibrant as they should. When you run into that issue, you go to your sidebar panel, click on the little image that looks like a sun, and then you click on your saturation, move it up or down until it's the brightness that you want. Because if you have your screen calibrated well, or if you know that what you see on the screen is what's going to print, then you can increase your saturation or decrease your saturation so that it's going to fit what you want. On this one, it looks like I probably could have increased the saturation, but I didn't, since it's just a quick example. So you can see that it's printing those registration marks on the corners. And it's done, almost done. Almost grabbed it too soon. Should be just about there. All right, so that's done. Now you can see how it printed. It's not, this ink is not wet right now, but if you touch it, it is a little tacky, so I wouldn't recommend touching it for a little while. I'm gonna go ahead and load it into a silhouette so that way you can see the contour cuts. Adjust this here. And what I do, I don't typically use a cutting mat when I'm using the silhouette because it seems to work better without it. Sometimes I use the cutting mat and it just seems to give me a hard time. So I'm gonna go ahead and load that in. Come back over here and I'm gonna click up here and I'm gonna select the part of the design I want by color. I'll click on my black area and then I'm just gonna delete that because that's not getting cut anyways. Now, since I'm using a PNG in the Silhouette Business Studio Edition, if you upload a PNG, it automatically puts contour cut lines all around it. So that's a really nice feature. So I'm gonna go ahead and click send. And these are the settings I use. My blade is off by 1. I think it's because of the blade that I got. So typically this would say 2, but instead it says 3. My force is at a 5. Speed is at an 8. And you can see that the contour cut line is already around the design. Then I'm just gonna go ahead and press send after I reloaded, because for some reason the machine is not reading that I loaded the vinyl. So just gotta do that really quick. And let's see if I can get it to send. All right, now I can go ahead and send my design, and it's going to register. And it's reading the registration marks that were put on the screen and on the film. Suggesting the blade for the depth and the force. I was just going to go ahead and cut all the way around the design. is done, so we'll go ahead and weed it. Now that that's cut, I'm gonna go ahead and weed it. I just take my little tool, got it from Hobby Lobby. I think it was on sale. I don't know what it cost. Just pick up a little corner, go ahead and weed your design. Just like that. Just a little spot right here. And that's how the design looks weeded. Then I just gotta get my transfer paper and go ahead and mask this up. With your transfer paper, I cut my transfer paper into sheets as well. For some reason, they always curl up, so it's a little frustrating to try to keep it flat. But once you peel this little backing off of it, then the transfer paper will flatten out. So you can use it the way you want to. See? So it's just that paper backing, I guess, gets a little, I guess a little, I don't know, hydrated or something. Too much moisture and causes it to curl. Take your transfer paper. This is the sticky side. Sticky side goes down on your image. You lay that down. Get you a squeegee. There's little vinyl squeegees. Just take it. Rub it over your design. I'm not pressing down that hard, just enough to press on there. Flip it over. Then I do the back side. Now the best way to weed this backing paper off is to it's called snap weeding. It's where you take the back of it and you pull it, like you're snapping your wrist to try to pull it off. And this allows the design to come off without any issues. Now, if you go slow, what might happen is your image will start to pull up. Even if you have like text, like this is grouped together, but you could have text down here, anything you want. But when you weed it, make sure you squeegeed it well, and make sure that when you're peeling that backing off, that you're snapping with a snapping motion to get it off of there. All right, after you've got it all printed, weeded, masked, just go ahead and load your shirt. I'm just using a black t-shirt. I have my heat press set at 330 degrees for 15 seconds. The vinyl recommends 305 degrees. I always go a little higher because I just like to, just in case. After you got it on there, go ahead and place your design where you want it. And give it the 15-second press. That up, and then you just peel it right off. When you print, a little bit of ghost image from your print will be on your paper, so don't use this paper again, this cover sheet. Now you have a full color printed image. I didn't have to do any layering or anything of that nature. So that is how you use the Eco Solvent printer and the inks that you use. And if you guys have any questions, please leave it in the comments below. Also, be sure to hit that like and the subscribe button. If you want to see more videos, I don't post a whole lot, but every once in a while I'll do. If you guys have a video you want to see, then I'll post more. So just tell me anything that you're working on, or if you have any questions about this process. This is a close-up view so that you can see how it looks on the shirt. You can kind of see the you know, like the material of the shirt through the print, so that way you know it's adhered well. Another quick tip: don't wash this for 24 hours. If you wash your design within the first 24 hours, it will fade. After the 24 hours, it'll be fine, but if you wash it before then, your image will lose its color. Be sure to tell your customers and your clients that. Again, thank you guys for watching this video. The Lord has blessed me to move forward in this journey, and I just wanted to share with you the things that He's allowed me the privilege to learn. You guys have a blessed day.